He went to an island you can only reach by private boat. His phone was found on the boat. The people he went with came back. He did not. His name was Nolan Wells. He was just 18 years old. Nolan had recently graduated from Ocean Springs High School. He was a wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College. His dean called him exemplary, a student, an athlete, a friend. His college football team publicly asked for prayers. The moment his disappearance made the news, someone who knew him told a local newspaper that he could spark up a whole room. His mother called him a special soul. His people called him Nona. On July 4th, 2026, Nolan traveled by boat to Horn Island with friends. Horn Island is a remote barrier island, about 10 miles off the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. According to the National Park Service, it is accessible only by private boat. There is no other way on. There is no other way off.
They did it. As soon as I saw this picture, first thought of my mind was these motherfuckers killed that kid. It was literally the first thought I had in my head. I fucking hate you racist pieces of shit. They did find his body, so we'll have to wait and hear what the coroner has to say. But knowing how the cops operate, they'll probably rule it a suicide. Just like they did that black kid that hung himself with 2 broken legs. Yeah, that happened too. That was last year. They claimed a kid with 2 broken legs hung himself.
Greetings everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again, and in today's episode we are going to talk about the recent viral online case involving an 18-year-old black American known as Nolan Xavier Wells, in which you are getting to understand that Nolan went to celebrate the 250 years of independence of the United States at the Horn Island of the Reef Barrier in Mississippi Gulf, and in doing so, Nolan disappeared under mysterious circumstances, in which after a multi-team search on the island, it was later on discovered 2 days later, that is on July 6th, that he had lost his life. And this has caused massive online debates given the fact that Nolan was the only black friend in this group that included 3 other white friends. And since the news of his passing hit the internet, there have been speculations with regard to what really caused his death, with most black individuals calling foul play and different people coming out with theories about what really transpired at this Horn Island to cause the death of Nolan Xavier. So in today's episode, we'll having a dive into this, and I will kindly request that you watch the rest of this episode to see how black American individuals are reacting to it. And kindly don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the share button while I come with my commentaries at the end of it.
Well, here we are again, folks. And you know what I always say, those that do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Y'all remember what happened with this lady up here? This is Tamia Horsford, a 40-year-old mother in Forsyth, Georgia. She went to a sleepover with some football moms in 2018. And the next day she was found dead, face down in the backyard of the very place where they were having the sleepover. And nobody know nothing about what happened. And to this day, there has not been justice in this case. And those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. This young man right here is Nolan Wells, who unfortunately was found deceased just a little while ago. He went out to Horn Island in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, with these guys right here for a July the 4th excursion, and he didn't make it home. These guys brought his phone back to his mother and father, but they did not bring him back. So I say to you once again, because I just made this same video a few weeks ago when the Carmelo Anthony trial was going on, stop putting your kids in these situations where they are in danger. I know you feel like you're doing what's best for them. I know you feel like sending them to the white schools and putting them in these white neighborhoods and white enclaves and having all white friends. I know you feel like you're doing what is best for them, but you are putting your beautiful black babies in danger. Tamia Horsford is gone. Nolan Wells is gone. And nobody know nothing. Nobody knows anything. And his death has been ruled an accidental drowning. But somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. And at the end of the day, we do not learn from history, and it continues to repeat itself. Don't be the token in the group, because tokens get spent. And as you see right here, history keeps on repeating itself until we get smart enough to understand. Stop putting yourself in these dangerous situations. You are in danger.
Secret Service Sam here, and this Nolan Xavier Wells case is just not sitting well with anybody. Especially people in the black community are not trusting what happened. They're not believing that this was some type of accident. He was allegedly going to see a girl, and so I guess a guy named Warren, one of the friends, left him behind. He went on another boat. There is video circulating online that almost shows that there was some type of potential altercation or fight that took place. Then it turns out one of the kids who made it back safely, their parent is a judge, and all the kids are lawyered up. Why would you be so lawyered up so quickly if there was nothing that you did wrong? Now, this is reminding a lot of people of Tamla Horsford, who died on November 4th, 2018 in Cummings, Georgia. She's a black mother of 5. She attended an adult sleepover with mostly white female friends. The next morning, she was found dead in the backyard. Official investigations by the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation concluded her death was accidental as a fall from a backyard deck. How do you just fall from a backyard deck? Authorities cited severe intoxication, with her autopsy revealing a blood alcohol level of 0.238. Anyway, her family and community advocates heavily disputed the official findings, citing timeline discrepancies, the presence of unexplained injuries, and concerns over how the crime scene was handled. Now, this happened in Mississippi. That case happened in Forsyth County, which has a lot of racist history. We need this to be transparent. This continues to happen in the black community, where what are the chances that every time it's a group of all white people and like one black friend, why it's like a horror movie where the black person has to die first. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. People are not going to let this sit at all. And when you have Cyrus Carmack Belton, then you have Carmelo Anthony, then you have to understand how painful this is to the community, that continually they're taken advantage of. And then when they claim something like this is racially motivated or whatnot, they're called victims, or they're saying, oh, you're just searching for something. Why are the boys lawyering up? Why did the boys have the kid's cell phone? Why did he have Nolan's cell phone and give it to the mother? You know how kids are, and all of us are with our phones. They are glued to our hip. How did the phone make it back, but he didn't? Something is suspect here. This is Mississippi. We've all seen Mississippi burning. We need justice for Nolan. Secret Service Sam out, Samson for president of the world.
Black people, stop going on motherfucking vacation with these white folks. Your white friends call you, say, hey, bud, what's up? Hey, you ain't going on vacation? No. Hell no. Because y'all keep going on them vacations and they keep coming back home and we can't find. You got to tell them white people no right now. Not all of them, but some of them you got to tell them no. I can join why I'm going out there in the ocean for.
I would have bet my last dollar that these people investigating the Nolan Wells case would have said that they didn't suspect any foul play. And that's exactly what they did. So now the sheriff's department is claiming that they don't suspect any foul play in the Nolan Xavier Wells case. This young man went to an island with his friends. His so-called friends left him on that island. They all got home safe, untouched, nobody hurt, and acted like they didn't know where their friend was. Key word, their friend. So you go to an island with your friend. Your friend mysteriously turns up missing. That doesn't ring an alarm to you? Or how about the fact that everybody gets home, deletes their social media, and everybody lawyers up? That still don't seem like foul play was involved. Then you got the sheriff on record telling ABC News that Nolan's friends left Horn Island and went back without Nolan, and from what his friends understood, He chose to state it. So let me get this right. They all had to get on a boat to go to Horn Island. And when it was time to go back, Nolan said, nah, I don't want to go back with y'all. Go back without me. Does that sound right? But see, here's the thing, right? You see how fast these people stuck together? Came right back, got their stories correct, lawyered up, shut all their social media pages down, and everybody is sticking to one story. But this is exactly how they do. Black parents, I need you to listen to this. And that's coming from a white man. Black parents, protect your children. They are not safe. Pay attention to the climate we're in right now. Protect your children.
Okay, I want to speak on the Nolan Wells situation. And before I do, I just want to say rest in peace to that poor baby. What happened to him is unfathomable. And my heart goes out to him and his family. That is just, that's awful. And number two, I am somebody who is of mixed race, right? So I have a black mom and a white dad. And I have been the only token black person. This was around my college days. And if there's one thing that I can tell you about being the token or just being the only one in the group, on the outside, you're okay, right? You ha he, joke around. But on the inside, it literally breaks your spirit. Because you believe that if you ha he laugh with these said people, that it will get you closer to acceptance. And I'm here to tell you right here and right now, that is not going to be the case. Proximity does not equate to power. And self-preservation is the only solution. As I said before, I was the token black person well throughout my college years, but my frontal lobe developed. And once your frontal lobe develops, that's where the brain starts working, thinking critically. And you start to take things that people say and do a little bit more seriously. And I became more observant. And the moment that I get a feeling that I'm not safe, or if something feels off, I always remove myself. Always. It don't matter where I'm at, I will find a way out. Now, what's interesting is that on the white side, my father is very much pro-black, okay? He may be white, but he's pro-black. He lived in a house with 2 black women. So what side do you think he's on? And I'm very honored and privileged to have the type of father that I have, because growing up, my father was always someone who was very radical. He had no problem standing up for people who didn't have a voice. He had no problem standing up and advocating for my mother anytime something racist was said to her. And let me tell you something, y'all. My dad fought. He could tell you stories, right? He don't play when it comes to racism. And also, he always kept his eyes on me when I was on my white side of the family. I don't want to cry. And now that I'm older, I understand why he did that. And he was trying to teach me a lesson. And the lesson was self-preservation. And also, considering the fact that my mother is black, she's very well educated. She has a lot of skills and experience. And she worked as a director, right? She had an executive role. So you don't think she had to deal with certain shit from certain people in the workplace? Again, self-preservation. And a big part of self-preservation involves having the courage to stand up for yourself, because when you are the only one in those spaces, no one is advocating for you. And no one can relate to you and your experiences. And I want to be as compassionate as I can with this, because this is something that I've had to learn throughout the course of my life, being biracial. Where was that kid's self-preservation, man? Like, did he really think that because he's in proximity to these people, that automatically he'll be accepted and absolved from anything negative? No. Because when you're the only one, understand that when shit goes left, for whatever reason, you're going to be the one to take the fall. Mind you, I'm a bit scattered with this, but I got to be as raw and as honest as I can. A big part of self-preservation is being able to be futuristic. You got to be 10 steps ahead. You have to ask yourself, well, what if this happens? If this happens, XYZ, what am I going to do? That's part of strategic thinking. And when you think strategically, when you think ahead, that will play a huge role in saving your life. My father is a white man, and even he instilled this shit into me. There are no benefits to being the only one, because we think that if we're the only one, that we have all the power. No, you don't. If anything, you will always be at the bottom, and you will always come in last place. And I'm sure you've all heard the saying about tokens. Tokens always get spent. They never get saved.
The way people talk about black victims versus white victims in this country is the best example of covert racism. This is Nolan Wells. His body was found a day after he went missing on the 4th of July on the coast of Mississippi. Now, there is new information coming out about this case. I am not making any factual claims about what has happened. It is important to talk about how the media is covering this, because if a white boy goes missing, like me, for example, and they find, I'm sorry, but my body on the beach, no one's going to be going, did he stay where he should? Was he drunk? Was he starting conversations and arguments? But when Nolan goes missing, it's all about his behavior. Now there's video circulating on the internet with, I'm going to put a picture here, and people are saying that he's starting an argument, and just a simple video footage of what looks to be Nolan standing there completely still when there's like 20 people surrounding him. My mom sent me a quote this morning, and it was, if only more black men could get home to their mamas. And that's the most motherly thing my mom could see about this, is there's a family that no longer has a son. And he went out with his friends and didn't come back, and people are worried about his behavior. Where my community would be worried, wow, there's someone that would murder someone out here. We are at 250 years in this country, and we are still dealing with covert and overt racism. So what am I advocating for? We have to start meeting in the middle here. We have to start seeing each other for who they are, which is Nolan Wells is a son. Nolan Wells is a son who is no longer going to be able to go home to his mom. And people on the internet, in the news, are talking about him like he's a problem maker, like he's a troublemaker already. And that's not how it should go. We have to fight for more unity. We have to speak out for Nolan Wells and people like Nolan Wells who are constantly shined in a light as guilty. See it. I see that we can be better and do better, but it starts with conversations, and it starts with an understanding and ears open to listen. That's the big thing. We have to start listening to our neighbors. And remember, what makes us great in this country is diversity and is community and listening to the person next to you. He should be able to go home to his mom. That's it. It's that.
Y'all can be mad at me if you want, but this story is not sitting right with me at all. Because how does the only black kid leave with the group and end up being the only one who never makes it home? I'm not buying the we thought he caught another ride BS. I'm just not. He came with y'all. He should have left with y'all. Y'all also had his phone too. So make that make sense. Of course, here come the comments saying it's not about race. Maybe not. But explain to me why the only black teen who went out with a group of white boys is the only one who ended up dead. Y'all not gonna like this, but being the only black person in a group where nobody's looking out for you is not always the safest situation. And for these so-called friends to say they don't know what happened or they can't remember, that's not sitting right with me either. They weren't looking out for their friend, period. That's why I'm not buying what they're saying. Nolan deserved to make it home the same way every single one of his so-called friends did. My prayers are with his family, and I truly hope they get answers. And y'all, tell me if I'm wrong. If your friend shows up dead, but somehow nobody remembers anything, would you just accept that? Or are some of y'all so uncomfortable talking about race that you'll ignore every red flag sitting right in front of you.
Being the token black person in the friend group would cost you your life. For example, Nolan Wells, who went on a boating trip with his friends, the only black guy in the group, on July the 4th in Mississippi, and he came up missing. And we see the same thing that took place in 2018 when you're talking about Tamala Horsford. She went to a gathering with her white friends and she came up deceased. The sheer amount of times that black people will not understand that when you're the token black person in the friend group, you can die and none of your white friends will say a goddamn thing. See, that's the problem. You think everybody fuck with you. Everybody don't like you. This illusion of inclusion bullshit is a westernized ideology that doesn't exist. Because their concept of patriotism is really racism. You just had 400 white nationalists in DC marching on July the 4th. Some of those people are teachers, firefighters, police officers, judges, lawyers, people you work with. So with all that shit being said, my father said it best. Never be the only one. Never be the only one of your race. Never be the only one that doesn't have any money. Never be the only one that doesn't have a car. Because it's going to create this energy to where you start to seek validation because you're trying to compensate for the lack thereof because you ain't got shit. So you try to live vicariously through white people by getting on their boat. Get your own shit. That's how you save yourself. That's the first rule of nature, self-preservation. Oh, when it comes to so-called black people, I'm not saying that all Europeans are like this. You got to have some type of social awareness to where you have the mental and spiritual fortitude to see what the fuck is going on around you, right? And rest in peace to Nolan Wells.
So this gentleman right here is Christopher Xavier Wells, and he is missing. The melanated young man sitting next to these three white boys who left him on an island because he met a girl. Left him on an island. The police have found his phone. Nobody knows where he's at. He disappeared about 3 o'clock yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but when I go on a vacation or an excursion, no man's left behind. They're like, oh, you met a girl, bro? You can swim home. Totally. Fuck. Anyways, everybody's trying to find out where Christopher's at. This doesn't make any sense at all. They are saying, they're like, yeah, man, like, we totally, like, let people know that we, like, left him behind, bro. But, sounds like a load of shit to me. I'm wondering what happened to this poor young man. I hope they find you soon.
Somali community, you know I love you. You know I do. And what I'm about to tell you this is coming out of love. Not hatred or racism, but to bring awareness. It's trending all over social media that there is an 18-year-old black boy out of Mississippi. He was hanging out with a group of white people. And they went to Horn Island, and all of the white friends came back without the black friend. So they took the black boy's cell phone and gave the black boy's cell phone to the black boy's mother. And so they did an intensive search, and it was confirmed the body that was found was 18-year-old Nolan Wells. And I say this is to bring awareness to you. Also a warning. It's okay to have other friends. And also for you parents, if your son or daughter have friends outside the Somali community, or if they happen to have friends who are white, let's just put it out there, who are white, and if they're gonna go somewhere with these white people, whether it's your son or daughter, make sure that they are not the only person of their race that is going with those group of white people. Make sure that your child is not the only person of color amongst white-only spaces. This isn't the first time this has happened. This isn't the second time this has happened. This has been a repeat pattern that keeps happening in Black America. And to prevent you from going down this same road, and to keep you from dealing with this. I'm begging you, and I'm warning you. Be careful of who your children hang around. Be careful of who your children associate with. And if your son or daughter do want to go and hang out with a group of white guys or a group of white girls, make sure that there are at least about a few people that looks like your son or daughter. Even white people are coming on the internet and telling black people, stop having your teenage children around groups of white people. And this is coming from white people. I want y'all to be safe, and I want y'all to be aware of this. I have warned you. I have warned you. Please take heed to what I'm saying. And you can research this Nolan Wells. This is a new story that's trending on TikTok. And so, Somali community, I want you to be careful. And I want you to be safe. I want you to make sure your children are safe. One love.
This that crazy stuff that I be talking about, man. We already had our Juneteenth already. You know, our Juneteenth just passed on June the 19th. The problem that I'm having is what the heck was this kid right here doing out in the middle of the water on an island with these people right here, man? I don't care how cool they are, bro. I mean, we all know what's going on in Mississippi. Y'all see what happened in Mississippi last year at the college campuses? Did y'all see what happened a mile away from the college campus? Just an hour after one situation was already discovered in a tree dangling. Why would you want to go out to a dang on island with these people right here? Y'all don't look anything alike. We talking Mississippi, man. We already know, man, Mississippi don't like us. Mississippi has never liked us. That's why I don't understand why our people are still moving to Mississippi, let alone going out in the dang on water with four people who don't have your best interest at heart. And I really hope that they bring this young man home alive, but I'm hearing some stories, man. I'm hearing that a fisherman found someone, but nothing has been confirmed. But they did say a fisherman has found someone in the water in the same area where this young kid right here, this young 18-year-old baby, came up missing. I don't understand how them four people left the dock when they got the boat. 3 people returned back to the dock to turn their boat in. 1 person was missing. What the hell was their stories? Come on. It's not what I think it is it, guys? Because I'm starting to really, really think something awful. I'm really starting to think something awful. All 4 of those young men look like really, really nice, healthy young men. Look like that they don't have a racist bone in their body. I just hope that this isn't what I think it is. And I'm not putting any rumors out there. I'm not going to use the word alleged because I'm not allegedly making any accusations. I'm just giving an opinion, and I'm asking you guys your opinion. This don't look right to me at all. Something is not right. 4 went out on the boat. 3 came back to turn the boat in. Where the hell was this young man at? Why didn't he return to the boat dock to turn that boat in with them 3 other people? Something ain't right here, guys. Something's not right.
Well, if you've watched to this end, thank you once again, and let's get down to it. Nolan Xavier Well was an 18-year-old black American individual coming from Mississippi, and as a bustling young black fella, Nolan was also a football player at the local college, that is the Southwest Mississippi Community College, and he was a well-known individual who was always referred to as being friendly and open to everyone around him. But one specific thing actually stood out from him. Compared to other black individuals in this area, Nolan preferred to hang out with his white friends. And during the celebration of the independence of the United States marking the 250 years, Nolan, together with 3 of his white friends, decided to go to the whole island as a way of celebrating the 250 years of independence that is for the United States. And just like any other normal day, this group of friends took off for the island in a private boat, but some few days later, this would mark another dark page for Nolan's family as he didn't return back home, despite of the fact that his other three white friends managed to successfully come back home. And upon further inquiry from Nolan's mother, the three white friends claimed that they had left Nolan in the island, whereby they believed that he was waiting for another girl and had told them that he would get picked by another boat and that they should leave him on the island as he would find his own way to come back to the mainland. However, this didn't come to passing as Nolan eventually never made it to the mainland, and his mother, under distress, made a report to the local authorities in which a search party was sent to try and find him in this Horn Island. And upon further search and rescue mission on this island, unfortunately, Nolan's body was found by one of the park rangers, and since then, his story has made massive public presence as we're getting to see that most people, especially individuals from the Black American community, have come up with theories about what really transpired with regards to his passing. As you all understand, the main speculative here will be holding his three white friends accountable, as you all understand that Nolan was the only Black American individual in this group of white individuals, and some people are calling that there was actually foul play, given the fact that this was a small group of individuals that was closely knit, and it is quite suspecting for only one of the individuals, that is Nolan, who happens to be black, to get lost in the island, while the other three quietly made their way out of the island without making a report or without really having a direct explanation of what transpired or happened to their friend. And so this has again raised another massive online debate where we're getting to see that blacks are actually proving the fact that they should never trust the white individuals, and this has been turned to a racial war, despite of the fact that there has been no formal reports from the local authorities with regards to the passing of Nolan Xavier Wells, as the authorities have actually done an autopsy on his body and a toxicology report. Although the facts or the findings of these reports have not been made public, the local authorities have called everyone to be calm as further research and investigation is being carried with regards to this case. And other than that, you're getting to notice that the previous notion or the previous claim by the authorities who are handling this case was that they don't see any foul play possibility coming out from this case, which again are getting to see that this has raised question among the Black American community members who are saying that this is they are acting too fast, or they are going ahead of themselves to try and disqualify the possibility of a foul play in the passing of Nolan Xavier. And as we all know, Black Americans have always been victims in such kind of situations, and these kind of situations usually involved a black individual becoming a close-knit member of a majorly white group, and in extreme cases you're getting to see that it is these black individuals who end up losing their lives, while the white individuals actually end up getting away with the explanation or with the true cause of what led to the death of these black individuals in a majorly white group individual. And for Nolan case, we are getting to see that the same script is playing out once again. And people are questioning, out of all odds, why is it that it's only the Black American individual who passed in a group that consisted of majorly white individuals? And so there is call for foul play, and for the Black American community, this has again been served as a good explanation and example of why blacks should never feel comfortable around the group of white individuals, as such cases are not new to the United States, and they have been happening for quite some time now. And given the fact that the passing of Nolan Xavier Wells also happened during the celebrating of the 250 years of independence in the United States, that is on July 4th, is quite ironical, as another black individual has actually lost his life under unexplainable circumstances in a group of a majority of white individuals, in which, with regards to how systemic racism and how the justice system operates in the United States, it seems like even if there was foul play in the passing of Nolan, the perpetrators of this act have higher chances of getting away with it. And so, based on the videos that you've seen in this episode, these are different theories and stories with regards to what might have actually transpired during this vacation event to celebrate the July 4th independence ceremony on the Horn Island in Mississippi. And this, again, is going to serve as a cautionary tale to Black American individuals who tend to feel comfortable around groups that are majorly composed of white individuals. And as with the Nolan's case, we are waiting upon further investigation to see the real cause of his death. And as I had mentioned before, most Black individuals are actually coming out with a possible explanation from the authorities, as they all understand that based on the previous such kind of events that had happened with regards to Black American individuals losing their life in a majorly white group, no individual has ever been held accountable for these atrocities. And so it's just a matter of time before you get to see and understand what exactly transpired during the happening of this event. Well, this again gets to mark the end of this episode. Thank you once again for watching to this end, and see you in the next one.